hold up. They know the money is coming to go. So what?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Tony Television. I am your boy Tony. Today we have on the couch my man Justend Best. Go ahead and introduce yourself. What is your name and where are you from?
What's going on? It's your boy Justend Best from Clinton, North Carolina. I'm a Carolina baby. I'm a behavioral therapist, artist, model, actor, Renaissance man.
Okay, now in Clinton, North Carolina, did you grow up in the hood or the suburb?
I would say I grew up definitely in the hood. It's like the country hood.
And what was that like?
It was very interesting. I think it was good though because it was in a place that everybody knew everybody. Everybody had some kind of relation. I was always, looked after as a child. If I was walking in the street, somebody would come tell my grandma, it's a dude from up the street that lives way up the street, It's just community, family, like, I think it was very good. But when a town is too small, there's nothing else to get into but trouble. So that was the other flip side to it.
That's a fact. Now, at what age, how were you as a student in school? Were you a good student, honor roll, or were you a class skipper?
I was an inconsistent student, to be honest, but I was never a bad student. So I had a time when I was really good. I would get all A's and B's, and then I would have C's and D's and B's. It wouldn't always be perfect. Definitely when I was younger, I was a better student, but as I got older, I procrastinated a lot. I still do it somewhat, but it's something I've definitely fixed. But I think I also was somewhat of a good student because I always liked school, until I graduated in 2018. And now I feel like I could not go back.
Well, let me ask you this. I usually ask, most black people this. When you were in school, the programming, the studies that they had, did you feel like there was not enough about you, black people, or did you feel like, hey, it's all equal information, they tell us just as enough about them as they do me, or was that not even a factor in your brain at all?
Shoot, I would definitely say that, it was mostly the white people that they represented. We can all agree that the things that we grew up learning in school was unnecessary or unfactual, or not true. They should have been teaching us how to farm, how to do our taxes, things like that, how to be self-sufficient, instead of teaching us their history, the things that they wanted us to know, and then telling us to go to college and go to school and do this, get this type of job. It just has to be changed, but, I think we're making those changes.
Great. I think there's an improvement coming along as well. At what age did you have your first relationship, and what was it like?
First relationship. I want to say middle school, so probably, let's say sixth grade, 6th or 7th grade. So what age is that? Like 11?
That's, around that age.
So yeah, and that was the typical middle school relationship. Dated for a week, always, but still continued to like each other. But it wasn't nothing serious, or we felt like our feelings were hurt after we broke up. But just a week-long relationship.
That's funny. At that age, it's like most people go through it just like that too. When did you know that you wanted to be an artist?
That's interesting. I think I probably wanted to be an artist. I guess when I started really creating music. So I want to say, when I got in college, because I never really promoted myself as an artist. That's something that was always difficult for me because everybody makes music. That's like saying, hey man, I brushed my teeth today. Like, okay, so what? You're supposed to do that. Um, but it took me a while to really start to, be comfortable to even say, hey man, hey, listen to this song, or this is my stuff, or I do this too as well. I would definitely say, in college, so maybe sophomore year.
Okay. And who was your favorite? I mean, what artist inspired you? I want to ask first.
Definitely Jay Z.
I would definitely say Jay-Z, but even before that, I got to take it all the way back. I'll probably say 50 Cent actually, because I just remember getting that album, The Massacre, and just listening to it over and over again. I know it from top to bottom, to this day. Yeah. So definitely 50 Cent, and then Jay-Z next.
Okay. And so, who's your favorite artist of all time?
That's tough.
Favorite artist of all time? I don't think I can answer that. I would have to, break it down into favorite rapper of all time, favorite singer of all time. For a long time, I would say it was Jay-Z. But, as I, grow older and see things differently and hear music differently, I would say Nas is definitely one of my favorite artists of all time. Even like the way he still creates music to this day.
Big shout to Nasir. Nas was always one of my favorite artists as well. Now we're gonna move on to some recent events that's been happening, and I'd like to get your perspective on it. I think today, actually, or yesterday, Alabama forward Darius Miles. You heard about that? He was charged with killing his girlfriend. And as of recent, I've been seeing like a lot of young teens that are actually males that are killing their girlfriends. What do you think about that? I mean, was that normal when you were a teen, or is that something new? What's going on with that? Do you think?
I don't know, man. I think it's something. I would say it's something new, but then you got to think about the fact that social media is just putting a spotlight on everything. So we see more of everything. So, we might feel like a lot of people are dying, so much around us in this world, but, we didn't hear about things that were happening with everyone before. Um, but definitely, I don't know, man. I definitely think social media has made it seem like it's happening more, but with the relationships and the fighting like that and killing, that's just crazy. We're normalizing all of that right now. So in a way, I would say that it's happening more because even with you can use Jeffrey Dahmer. They're normalizing him, humanizing him, and making so much money off the show. And that's something that shouldn't be glorified. But I just think that's something that we're doing right now. Where negativity is the thing. Negativity is what's in right now.
When they took Mark Zuckerberg to court, that's what the judges in the Superior Court or whatever was trying to say, that they actually, and that's what the leak came out. The lady who worked for them, they came out and said they promote negativity in the algorithm through these social media posts. It's strictly strategically catered so that you can click on the negative. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that's true. I think they use that in many ways. They use it to distract, but they definitely filter it because Instagram knows what I like. If you go on my explore page, you're gonna see basketball and women, but for some reason, fights still show up. Murders, executions still show up. That's not something I'm into. I might watch murder documentaries, but that's not something I'm scrolling through on my phone and looking through. So it's definitely being filtered to us somehow. I don't know. People, people's morals and their ideas just switch because, so, like, we'll say Takeoff, for instance. After his murder, people were posting the video the very next day. That's not something that's, really normal. You know what I'm saying? Because you would probably think about the families and his friends and stuff like that. it's just the way we're moving now.
You know, it's crazy you mentioned Takeoff because recently, Orlando Brown, you know him?
Yeah.
He just recently came out and said Takeoff's faked his death. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know, man. You know how Orlando is. He's been giving us a lot of, wild comments and accusations. So, you know what he said about Bow Wow. So I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, he always says something crazy, so you're right. It's expected for him to say something like that. Now, moving on, what did you think about the R. Kelly trial? Was he mistreated or did he get what he deserved?
That one hurt, man. Cause you know what? If that R. Kelly shit didn't happen and you asked me that question, my favorite artist, it would probably be R. Kelly. If all of that stuff didn't happen, he deserved it, man. That's crazy. Some of the stuff he did. And then the way he kind of brainwashed them and he brainwashed all of us in a way. Cause it's in the music. It's just crazy that I can't listen to certain songs. I want to listen to 12 Play, but some of those songs just don't sound right. Yeah, it's crazy. And he apparently had a baby in jail, and wow.
Definitely done some crazy things, but as far as in talent, he's like, who would be able to compete against R. Kelly in the verses?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, now, when you hear women asking for equality with men, does that make sense to you or not?
When they ask for equality from men.
We want to be equal because that's a big movement within the last.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I understand what they mean by that, but it'll never be equal.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, they'll always look for us to pay for the date. They'll always look for certain things. They'll always, at some point, you will need a man for something. And even with raising a child, I think the child definitely needs the mother, but there's just some things that a man can teach a child that a woman may can't. Or I should say, there's some things that a man can teach a boy that a woman probably can't.
And that is very true. Now, a quick question for you. Do you date outside of your race?
I have, yes.
Would you now? Like, is it a practice?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see a fine-ass black woman with a white man, does that bother you at all in any way?
I wouldn't say it bothered me, but I do be like, damn, for real, you gonna take it? But nah, I don't be hating, I try not to hate on it, because if I like to dibble and dabble, in different areas, pause. So how could I hate,
But at first, it gives you
At first, I'm like, damn.
Okay. Now, from your experience, is there any difference dating another race versus a black? Let's just say, is there a difference dating a white woman versus a black woman in your experience?
Oh, you gonna go there? I think it depends. I think it would depend on how that woman was raised. But, a black woman is just, naturally, she's stronger. Naturally, she's, more caring. The intuition is crazy, I've dated a few white women, but I'll say that they also, they know how to take care of a man. But, a black woman is just, she knows, a God-fearing black woman. I'll say always you can take that over anything.
Very true. Now, recently, right, I've spoken personally to quite a few black women. They say this, so I have to ask a black man who lives in California this question. They've been telling me that black men rather not deal with them and deal with another race out here. Is that what you see, or do you know anything about that? Is that true, or is something you just haven't experienced yourself?
Well, I'll say this.
I think I've been through that, that kind of going through that feeling like, damn, bro, y'all tripping. Like, I'm trying to, sometimes I'll be really trying to put in time or, put in work with a woman and I feel like, she might be playing or I might not like the way she's doing this or that. So, I've been through that before. I think it depends on what kind of woman you like, what kind of black woman you like. And y'all gotta fit. You know what I'm saying? Cause a hood black girl ain't really gonna like a nerdy black dude. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just gotta match.
I was saying that last night to someone, but I want to hear your perspective on that because my perspective, I tell them, is usually a hood woman who says, I want a man, I want a man. Well, the thug is the thug. He's still not a man. He doesn't have his own apartment. If he does, the feds are coming soon and he might get killed. He's not setting his foundation on something solid. The real man is the nerd, right? So, I mean, is there like a what do you call an oxymoron kind of a thing there going on with them where they claim they want a man, but when you see a man who has great credit, a foundation and things, they don't like him?
Right. Well, yeah. That's where we at right now in this world. Everybody wants something that they really don't need for real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's attracted to an idea of something instead of going where they should. Like there's plenty of women that I've tried to talk to. And I'm like, I could really change your life. I could, but you tripping. Cause you think I'm bullshitting. You think I'm one of these fools. You know what I'm saying? But it's just their minds are messed up right now because they don't really know who to trust. And I don't blame them. Shit. Yeah, it's just the state we're in.
Very true, man. I gotta admit, black women go through a lot, so they don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? They get put through a lot in the society. When you ready to date a new woman or take her seriously, do you consider the type of men she dated in the past, or does that not matter at all to you?
I usually don't want to hear about it, but if I see the type of man you dated, I'm gonna have some kind of judgment. If he's like, if he's dirty or if he's a fuck boy, if he's this and that, I'm gonna have some type of judgment. I'm gonna be like, oh, for real, you dated this dude, you let him do this, but I don't want to hear about it. In the beginning.
But if you did hear about it, and you're gonna have your judgment on him per se, is that gonna make you look at her a different way as well?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
That's exactly what I meant by that. So I don't know him. It ain't no shade on him, but if he's this type of dude and I'm the total opposite, I'm gonna be like, so what was you going through, a phase or what happened?
Okay, now moving on. Now, were you a Kevin Samuels fan? And what do you think about when women celebrated the death of Kevin Samuels?
I was definitely a Kevin Samuels fan, and it was just sick. Everyone. It seems like everyone was celebrating his death. No apologies to the family. Not worried about his mom or anybody, kids. It's just sick, and that's another example of how we love negativity so much. That's what made him famous. By people hating him. People hating him. So it's crazy.
What do you think about the kind? Women tell me, I think what he was saying was right, but the way he delivered it, I couldn't listen to it. What do you think about that?
See, that's the thing though. It's not about the delivery. You gotta listen to the message. That's the problem. He was saying shit that'll hurt our feelings too. Nigga, we sat there and listened to it, and we was like, damn, you kind of right. And all we said was, okay, bet. You know, it's not about the delivery all the time. Dame Dash don't always deliver his messages the way people feel like he should, but he has never said anything wrong. I don't think Kevin Samuels said anything wrong.
I was a Kevin Samuels fan too. I want to make that clear. I think he was a great man. Rest in peace to Kevin, and may your legacy live on. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. Would you marry a woman with kids already?
I don't know. I think I could. I've dated a woman with kids. I think I probably could, but I don't think I'd want to. I definitely get attached to the kids, but that's besides the point. It's just, and it's not like they're not my kids, so I'm not gonna take care of them. It's not even that. It's just, I want something that's mine.
I had that talk with someone recently too, and I said, I took care of kids before that aren't mine, but the preference and the nature of a man, just like the animal kingdom, I would like to be, have my own litter, so to speak, where it's all my litter in the house, and that it's just a little more special, you know what I mean? But we do love the kids.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so quick question. Are young people addicted to social media, doing too much for the gram, or just out here promoting themselves?
I'll say too much social media, because I feel like those other two things fall under the same umbrella. Just being on it, seeing it, and then you're like, oh, I want to do that too. It's crazy. I've never seen so many people doing the same things, riding the same waves. And even how Instagram has taken out, you can't even make posts right now because you won't get likes. You got to do reels, and they're trying to follow the TikTok, style. And everybody's just doing the same dances, using the same songs, same clips, and now all the artists are trying to do the same thing, which is make songs for TikTok.
So is social media hurting or helping more so? Because it does both, but which one would you feel it's doing more?
I would say it's hurting it more, because you don't have to be so organic anymore. You only have to do this, and everybody has a voice, and everybody feels like they have a platform or fans. And nobody kind of knows their place in this world. Everybody feels like they want to put themselves somewhere. Like, what is your niche? What is your actual niche? You know what I'm saying? It's definitely hurting it, but maybe in the end we'll get through it, and these waves will start coming back around, and we won't let it control us so much.
I totally agree. What do you think about the opioid craze with the youth? The lean, the Oxycontin, because I just want to add my 2 cents and say this. I came up in an era where smoking weed and drinking was cool, but anything more than that, you were looked at like a fiend, and it was not cool. But now, like, all drugs are cool. What do you think about that?
I think it's wild. Definitely liquid heroin and shit like that. All that shit is cool. But I definitely think it's getting better. I don't think it's as bad as it was in I would say maybe 2012, 13, 14, 15. Probably really bad then. But I think it's getting better. It's still cool to drink lean. It's just a young guy's thing. but people are really understanding what these drugs do to you. You know, like Xans and perks. You know, people are actually seeing that, and I've seen a lot of people start to get off of them and steer more away from them.
And that's a really good thing. And you know, so for those people that are, you know what I mean, we, you know, definitely my heart goes out to them, and hopefully they can get over those things and get a little stronger. What do you think about Lori Harvey? Is she a hoe, or is she just a woman getting her bag, yo? Because everybody like to Lori Harvey, like, is she just getting her bag, bruh, or is she really like, yo, I'm hoeing out this bitch?
I don't know. I think Lori Harvey is just moving like one of us. Just moving like a nigga. That's all. And it's seen different because she's a woman.
Well, I can kind of debate. This, like what a Kevin would kind of say, when a woman's moving with that masculinity, that's them hoish tendencies. Is kind of because that femininity is their nature, and when you start moving like a man, it takes away that quality of that I mean, what do you think?
No, that's a big fact. I totally agree with that because, you know, that's not something that's attractive to me. You know, if I know every dude that you mess with, and you know, and we're all in the same area and stuff like that, we all run in the same circles, so no, you know, I wouldn't like that. But I definitely think that it takes away, you know, it lowers your value, 100%.
Okay, well, real man question right here. If Lori Harvey came to give you some pussy right now, would you take it?
I gotta see what it look like first. I gotta see what it look like first. See what she smell like.
My man, Justend. Hey man, listen man, tell the people where they could get in contact with you, where they could find your music, and go ahead and give you a shout outs, my brother.
Oh man, you can find me on Instagram at JustendBest, JustendBest. Twitter, JBestBball. I just put out an album called Best Case Scenario, and you can find it on all streaming platforms. Just type in Justend Best, Justend with an E. You know, shout out to my loved ones, my family, you know, my friends, everybody that I collaborate with. You know, we almost there.
My man, Justend Best, man. It's always a pleasure having you here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be many more to come. Good luck on your journey, your music, and many blessings for you, my brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
We out.
Stand on top like I'm King Kong. Paddle niggas like a ping pong. Run my block like I'm King Von.